Well, it is never dull, I guess, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Jeff, you're there at Paycor Stadium. Boy, there was a game there in the playoffs a few years ago that was, I think, about as bizarre of a finish as anybody has seen between the Bengals and the Steelers. I don't know. Sunday might have topped that one. That was a pretty crazy way to finish. And boy, at the end, the Steelers just found a way to win.
So I got to tell you, I went down after this. The Bengals scored with no time left. I assumed there would be a made extra point, so I headed down to the locker room. So I didn't see the blocked extra point. So I get down by the Steelers locker room, and they're like, "Yeah, the extra point was blocked." I'm like, "Yeah, very funny." They're like, "No, seriously, they blocked the extra point." And then we're watching it on a TV about this big, standing outside of the Steelers locker room. But they did. They found a way to win. I mean, it was amazing that they somehow dominated the first half, couldn't finish plays, but yet made a play. Minkah Fitzpatrick was amazing. And, the Steelers defensive captain, I think, put it well on how they found a way to get this W.
It's one of those games that keeps going back and forth. Man, who's going to win it? Missing those field goals, it's like, damn, we don't die. And, but by the time Boz went out for the last one, I was like, oh, we got to make this because, man, we've been damn zombies the entire game. They've tried to put us out and tried to kill us, but just kept bouncing back.
But, man, it's just good to come in here in a hostile environment, man, and not blink, particularly with the number of new guys, whether they're rookies or new to us. I just gave all the new guys game balls. The guys that have been here before, there's a certain expectation. They know what the standard of expectation is, but I can't say enough about the new guys and how they came alongside us and fought as if they had been here. And that is just so critical in environments like this.
Well, Jeff, you mentioned Minkah Fitzpatrick. My word. 14 tackles, the interception that he returned for a touchdown early in the game, and then he blocks that extra point. And, we talked the other day about our team defensive and offensive MVPs, and we'll talk about TJ Watt, obviously, in a minute. But I said, you know what? I think Minkah Fitzpatrick's going to have a really good year. And so far, he's making me look pretty good with that prediction because, he was everywhere. He was physical, I thought. Maybe crossed the line a few times, but it is Steelers-Bengals after all. But, man, I thought the guy was tremendous. And if he plays like that, the Steelers are going to be very, very happy with that contract that they gave Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, he made a couple of really outstanding plays. It's kind of what we saw when he first joined the Steelers. He was just everywhere. He was making things happen. He was, it's rush and coverage, and they were working that very well. And Fitzpatrick was leading that defensive group on the back end. There are a couple of guys that had really big games. Alex Highsmith was another, but Minkah Fitzpatrick was outstanding here today. And, got the team started off, that pick six, maybe uneased the Bengals for a while. And then he made that big play at the end, which could have been a game-saving pass breakup in the back of the end zone. And, of course, the blocked extra point kept that game alive. He was outstanding. He was worth every penny of that contract that he signed.
Yeah, no question. And keep in mind, they faced 87 plays in this game. The Steelers' offense only ran 60. They faced 87. That defense, and he was out there the entire way, Minkah Fitzpatrick. But as good of a win as it was going on the road against the AFC North champs, there is an issue at hand. And Jeff, that would be, of course, the injury to TJ Watt. What have you seen? What have you heard? It sounds like there's fear that it's a pec tear. And obviously that can vary with recovery time, but it's not a good thing, a pec tear. And it's going to probably, if that is the case, put him on the shelf for a little while.
Yeah, you see a lot of people's reactions that become instant doctors. They'd say, well, I did that and I came back and I was playing rec softball, 2 weeks later. Well, this isn't rec softball. This is the NFL. We don't know the severity, but yeah, that was the talk, that it was a torn pec. And we've seen guys lost for a season because of it. We don't know the severity of it. And again, to your point, we don't want to make any speculations, but obviously that was huge news. As good as the win was, to see TJ Watt leave the field like that was some sobering news. The same with Najee Harris with his foot. He had to leave for x-rays. He was able to come back on the sideline, but who knows when he'll see the field again.
Yeah, and obviously that goes back to camp when he injured what appeared to be, to me at least, the same foot. So That's obviously something. It was Liz Frank's brain, as he described it to us from back in camp. We'll see if
Josh,
it's along those lines.
And I'll tell you, going into the locker room, everybody excited except for Najee. His head down, he kind of limped into the locker room. You just had a bad feeling. Again, I'm not playing doctor here, but it was just a bad vibe around Najee and what this injury could mean for him.
Jeff, final thing, amazing. The first post Ben Roethlisberger game, and it's the fifth topic that we're talking about, the quarterback position, but it wasn't good from Mitch Trubisky, I would say. But I will give him credit. He came through with some big plays down the stretch there in that overtime to get them down into field goal range. And we've talked a lot during camp, preseason, about him running the 2-minute drill. But he got them down there. He got them one field goal attempt that ended up doinking off an upright, and he got them right back down again for what proved to be the game-winning kick. So was it good to me? Absolutely not. But did he come through? Did he do some things that Ben Roethlisberger has done before, whereas you don't play very well, but you come through with some throws when you need it? Yeah.
I look at it this way. He didn't win it for them, even though he made a couple of plays, as you mentioned, down at the end, but he didn't lose it for them. He didn't throw that key pick six. He didn't make that key fumble. He didn't make that really bad decision that cost them this game. He at least kept them punting or kept them in the game when he wasn't able to get the offense moving. Yeah, there are things he wants to work out, but that's one of the things he discussed after the game was, we can do it with the win. I'm proud that our guys, that we were able to make a few plays, but he realizes, as much as he wants to put a shiny coat on this, that there are some needs for the offense to get better. They can't assume they're going to get those type of turnovers and win games. Especially, I know the Patriots look bad, but that's going to be a battle coming up on Sunday.
Yep, absolutely. From Acrisure to Paycor.
Yeah, and I'll tell you a quick story, Josh. They changed it to Paycor, and a lot of the Cincinnati people, the internet was lost at one point. The escalator stopped working at one point. The Bengals found a way to lose. They think it was the ghost of Paul Brown for changing the name of his stadium. So maybe Paul Brown, because he's upset his name is no longer on the stadium, allowed the Steelers to win the game on his field. Who knows? The Steelers were kind of like zombies that couldn't die. Well, maybe they had hope from the grave.